All right, let's go. If you are a Sunshine Coast construction building company, sit in one of those categories. What we're going to look at today is you might have tried Lean and didn't work. You might have hired a consultant, that didn't work either. You might have bought into the lie that it only works in manufacturing. I'll tell you right now, nothing could be further from the truth. Most Lean consultants don't understand or know the construction industry, don't know how to implement it. We're going to have a look at that at the moment, because there is 3 options that you can take to implement Lean on a construction site or within a construction business. We're going to run through all 3 today. Obviously, this is slanted towards what I do, which is intrapreneur/coach. Quickest, fastest, easiest way to do this, simplest way to do it. But I'll show you the other couple of ways as well. You'll pretty quickly pick up that what I'm saying makes sense. All right, so let's go and mark off what we're doing as we've done our intro. We spoke to our target audience. Okay, this map here shows us that there's a couple of ways to do Lean. You can do it. It can be very complex, or it can be super simple. Actually, it's not so much that it can be super simple, it's if it's not super simple, it will fail. If you go back to Dr. Eli Goldratt's work on theory of constraint, which is one of the things that I use, he's got a great video which is called Holistically Changing an Organization. And in there, he stresses the fact that if what you're doing is not simple, it will fail. Okay, so we got that end of the scale, simple, complex. The other 2 things that you can have is painfully slow, or you can get it to happen reasonably fast if you use one of these people up here, Intrepreneur/coach. Okay, let's have a look at option 1. To me, and Paul Akers actually says this in his book, 2 Second Lean. Don't take my word for it. Go and you can get the book for free. All right? Actually, I should hit that clock, because we're going to try and keep this to about 15, 16 minutes. Let's go. In the book, in 2 Second Lean, Paul Akers actually says, do not hire a consultant to bring Lean into your business. He said, if they take you into the boardroom, start trying to show you flow charts and PowerPoint presentations and all the other stuff, he said, run. Don't hire a consultant, you only hire a consultant to help you tweak your culture, which is why we're looking at why this one up here works the best, and we'll actually give you a case study of where that happened the best. So down in this corner down here, and under slow and complex is your consultant. Consultants tend to be technical people. Engineer, they were an engineer or something like that, and they go and be a consultant. Consultants tend to work as a one person as well, for a reason. They're not very good at working with people. They like working by themselves. Lean is people-centric. It's not about the flow charts. It's not about complex jargon. It's not about charts. What drives Lean, what drives a Lean culture is how well you master the culture piece. Right, so your culture consultant, they tend to be stuck in 1 to 2 times thinking. So whatever they do is going to happen very slow. It's not in their best case for you to build a Lean culture quickly, because they get paid usually by the month. Also happens is you're then tied to their IP, which again is complicated. More complicated it is, the longer it takes, more they get paid. Not all consultants are bad. There's some really good ones out there. There's a couple of ads on LinkedIn that I follow. Probably going to get a bit offended at what I'm saying. Don't really care. I'm not here to make friends in this particular video. I'm here to show you what is your best option. Not all consultants are bad. Some people, maybe it is a good option if you just want to move slowly you like complicated, you like lots and lots of details, maybe that was the option for you, option one. Certainly not for the people that I speak to or I work with. Okay, option number two. Up the top here is, and this is far better option, I believe, is you can do it yourself. Okay? It's still down the slow end of the scale. We speak to guys like Paul Akers. He said it took him about 5 years before it really kicked in, and he realised what he had to do to create a POOGI, process of ongoing improvement. Took him about 5 years to get to where he needed to get to. Ryan Tierney, I think, talks in a couple of years, and there's a guy at the moment that I just spoke with the other day, Applied Concepts in Ireland. The Irish do this really, really well, actually, in the manufacturing space, Lane. He said it took them 2 years, okay? You do it by yourself, it will, because you haven't been through this before. There's a learning curve. You don't realise. You just need to stick with things, even when they're not working sometimes, and sometimes it'll feel like you're just spinning the wheels, you're not getting anywhere. You need to know how to see the signs and not give up. So, if you want to do yourself, what you can do is move from the complex to the simple with a book, funnily enough, called Lean Made Simple. In that book, it will give you, and this is, I'm showing you this, so that you don't just go, oh, you're just trying to rubbish the consultant's beanie, you're not giving us the best option. I'm giving you an option that's free that you can start today. It might take you a while to do it. It's free, or the principle's free. It might cost you 25, 30 bucks to get the book, but you can go away right now, as soon as you finish this video, and go and start on this and do this yourself. This is an incredibly viable option. Not incredibly, it is 100% viable. So in this book, to keep it simple, Ryan's broken it down into 12 steps that you need to do. I'll read them to you right now. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, step one, is it starts with the leaders. People at the top of the company need to buy into this. When I just came off of a place where we didn't have senior leadership buy-in. We did it really well, and it worked really well for a while, and what happened is it got shut down because we didn't have the senior leadership buy-in. So it starts with leaders. They've got to be bought into this. Number two, you have a morning meeting. I've got a specific sequence, how I run morning meetings. You do that. Once you get that nailed, you get that bit right, you're doing extremely well. You create a lean leaders learning group. Then you create an example area where you start to go, this is how we're doing lean. This is what the rest of the business should look like. You teach people to see waste. We're not going to go into that in this video. That's pretty simple to do as well. You introduce improvement time. 2 second lean is all about making small incremental improvements every day, which compound and add up to a big outcome. Ordinary things, when done consistently, produce extraordinary results. That's how Keith Cunningham describes it. You introduce Yoga-10, which is sharing information laterally across the organisation. The great book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Patrick Lencioni says, if you get all the people in an organisation rowing in the same direction, you could dominate any industry, any market, at any time. Yoga-10 is how you get them all heading in the same direction. Number 8, you make improving easy. Number 9, you start solving your inventory problems. 10, you start creating standard operating procedures. Notice how it's gone through 10 steps. This is all about creating better people. First 8 steps is about creating better people, creating the culture first before they start to even introduce creating procedures. Number 11, you implement total ownership. And 12, you connect with other lean enthusiasts. Just down here, that there, school.com/scrum. I talk a lot to it inside there, inside construction school, about how to use lean. That's where you can connect with other people that are learning from me. That book, that's all you need. happy to put the time in. For it to be a bit of a slower process, it's going to be somewhere probably around about, I'd reckon, 18 months. If you did really, really well, you could get down to 18 months. Get your 100 hours in, what Anders Anderson in the book Peak calls someone that is at probably in the top 5% of the world for doing this stuff. You could do that in about that time. Oh, let's see where we're up to. So that's your Mitre 10 or your DIY model. I'm doing really well today. I haven't forgotten what any other words are. That's why there's prompt sheets up here. It's not a little lean version. I even used lean when I created this whole training. Okay, so what I did is I went through what happens. One of the problems that I normally have is I'll forget the words on there. I'll write them up. This is to keep people's interest, keep people hanging through the video, is I don't write the whole word up, so I do them as I go. But I'll get halfway through the video like I did the other day with standardise and forget what it is. So what I did is write all those up, talk through it to ChatGPT, and then said spit me out a prompt sheet with all the missing words and keep me on track that I can put up the top here. Lean is very visual. It must be visual all the time. I just lost connection with, I don't know why it does that. It's actually gone across to person now. So, all right, it's going to stay on me now. So you're going to move around a little bit. So I better not go down the other end of the room where it's dirty. All right. Life in the fast lane. That's what the Eagles called it. Get yourself the book. If you're happy to take it a bit slower, that will keep it simple for you. Get you well and truly headed on where you need to go. The fast lane. Intrepreneur. Here you are. Intrepreneur. I hope that's spelt right. The role I play is an entrepreneur inside the business and also a coaching role. Paul Akers calls it, you need to find your Ryan. There must be a single point of contact. Who is responsible to drive lean in the business? Make sure it happens. They have to live, eat, live and breathe this stuff. They need to be making video content like this all the time, which is creating yoga tent, to bring everyone else in the business along on the journey. They're the coach, stand on the sidelines and cheer. You don't want them out on the paddock playing, showing and telling everyone else what to do, but you need them to pull everyone along in their slipstream. They've got to set the standard, keep the discipline going, which is visionary type, you're the CEO, the managing director or whatever it is. Discipline and this space in your business isn't your greatest strength. You know that. This person also needs to be able to tell you the truth, like I'm doing right now. So you have to find that Ryan in your business, the entrepreneur and the coach. Right, just how quick can it move? It can move freaking fast when the circumstances are right. I had a project last year where we doubled EV. We didn't end up with, it was on a project, right? We didn't end up with the perfect lean scenario. It was good enough. We doubled the earned value, how many hours we're earning per day with the same team, same resources, no more people, no more resources. We actually removed some stuff, doubled it within, I'm going to say 90 days. It was actually less than that. It's fast when you've done it and you've done it well and you've done it right. We made traction quick. The project was in a world of hurt. We got very little to no pushback from anyone because they just wanted the problem solved. It was what Perry Marsh used to call a bleeding neck. They had a big problem. They wanted it solved quick. They stood out the road and said, Beanie, do what you got to do. It wasn't just me. It was a whole team of people that did it, but I was the one. I was the Ryan behind it all that drove it all. So no, I'm not just, a lot of consultants talk to this stuff. They've done the study. They know how it should work. They've seen it work a little bit, maybe even been a little bit involved. I've been in the trenches and built this over and over and over again. The entrepreneur, want him or her or her. There's some great videos at the moment on Lean Made Simple of a company where the ladies are doing exceptional at this. Women are probably better at this than men. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Intrepreneur needs to have 10x thinking. Want to make small incremental improvements, but we want to be thinking because when you're thinking 10x, you have to think completely differently to how do we go 1 to 2 times quicker to how do we go 10 times quicker. It's a complete different mindset. So what happens is you look at what you need to eliminate, how you need to get rid of the waste, which is what we're doing with Lean. As Paul Akers says, the companies that do Lean well, they're not just 10, 50, 100% better, they're 600% better than their competition. Literally dwarf them. I truly believe that anyone can get to, maybe not 600, but 3 to 4 inside that 18 months if they do those 100 hours of deliberate practice that Anders Ericsson talks about. All right, when you're picking this person, you need to ask the question, have you been able to build this culture before? We want to move fast here, right? We need someone that's been there, done that. Not a nice person, not just because they're good, we like them, all the rest of it. Have you done it before? Have you done your minimum 100 hours of deliberate practice? My 100 hours is probably closer to 10,000 hours. Maybe not deliberate practice. Deliberate practice would be at least 2,000 to 5,000 hours. Easily. Maybe more, since I've understood it. They need to know. I nearly got stuck for a word then, but it came back to me at the last minute. You don't try and change the world overnight. You start small. That's why 2-second lean works so well. Start small, but you got to be, it's got to be consistent every day. We don't do a daily meeting when we decide it's a good idea to do it. We don't do improvement time on the days that we feel like it. Every day. 1% better. Every day. Just like the back of my shirt here. Trust the process. 1% better every day. All right. So a quick recap of that because we're at only a minute left. I told you I was going to try and keep this to 15 minutes. Slowest, most complex way that you can go about building a lean culture is a hire consultant who's only got 1 to 2 times thinking and you're tied to their IP. Not all consultants are bad, but the majority I wouldn't bother with. Second best way for you to do it is to do it yourself. Get yourself a copy of the book. Lean Made Simple. Follow the 12 steps. It's going to be a bit of an experiment. It's going to take a bit of time to be able to work out what works and what doesn't. But you can do it that way. Third way, someone like myself, if you want to get in contact with me, let's see if I can do it, that little code just there. That's my WhatsApp. Message me via WhatsApp, say, Intrepreneur Coach, keen to talk to you about it, Benny. I'm at the point at the moment, I've just come off a project, I'm at home, I wouldn't actually mind being at home full time now. So I'm looking for the right role. Intrepreneur Coach in a project management space within the construction industry. That person needs to have 10x thinking. How are we going to get 600% better? Need to have built culture before. They need to understand and have done their deliberate practice. Willing to start small, be consistent, and get 1% better every day. All right, Friday. So I'm just about to head very soon to the pub. Friday night with my wife. Take that, use it. Made a great week. At the very least, get on Amazon and download a copy of that book. Lean Made Simple. Don't just download it, read it and do it. If you're on the Sunshine Coast and you're scaling a business or a project team, stick with me for a minute because I might be just the person that you didn't even know that you needed. I'm Benny, and at the moment I'm spending 60, 70 hours a week traveling in and out to a job. That time could be a lot better spent building high performance teams right here on the coast. So if you're looking for someone that's not just an employee, you're looking for someone who'll be a real asset, someone who can bring a new dimension to your leadership, your culture, and your continuous improvement, and they can make that progress visible, not just talk about it. That's what I do. Lean, theory constraint, Scrum, and the EXO model. They might all sound like buzzwords to you at the minute, but I've used them all in a very specific sequence to turn around underperforming shutdowns and multi-million dollar projects. If you're serious about building a brand and a culture that people really want to be a part of, and you're open to an Intrepreneur style setup, one with a performance upside where I've got skin in the game because I'm not your average employee, message me the word Intrepreneur and we'll catch up for a coffee. And if it happens that you've read the book Legacy by James Kerr, you'll get exactly where I'm coming from with this. When you're ready to work with someone who builds cultures and brands, the type that people don't want to leave, then let's chat.